What do you make to Steve Borthwick's 23-man England squad then that he has picked to play Italy in the Six Nations when it returns this weekend? This game is on Sunday afternoon, so Steve Borthwick there with a Wednesday team announcement rather than the Tuesday team announcement. I should have known. I have come straight home, and this is the first thing I'm doing when I've got here. I'll explain what I've been up to and why it's been a few hours since the team got announced before I'm actually bringing you this video. But I'll tell you what, there's some good talking points in there, isn't there? I mean, the main one is going to be surrounding Marcus Smith and what is his role for England now, looking forward, because he is not in the number 15 jersey. He's not in the number 10 jersey. He's on the bench. Which position is he there on the bench to cover? Is he covering both? Does this mean that that's just where he is in the pecking order? Is Steve Borthwick just trying something out? You'd think with Elliot Daly being the guy that's taking the 15 jersey, trying Elliot Daly out in the 15 jersey isn't something that's you'd feel necessary, because he's got a whole body of work, many years of playing very well for England and Saracens in that position. And I guess that is one thing to say straight away. One thing I quite like about this, every single player that Steve Borthwick has selected in that 15 is playing in the position in which they regularly play at club level and have plenty of experience at international level. You have got Ollie Chesham at second row. You have got Fraser Dingwall at inside centre. You've got Elliot Daly at fullback. There's some interesting club combinations as well we can get into. But as I say, the biggest talking point is going to be surrounding Marcus Smith. What does this mean for him? And why now? This is the third fullback that Steve Borthwick has picked in this Six Nations alone. 4 games, 3 different fullbacks. Started off with Freddie Stewart against Ireland, and then 2 games for Marcus Smith, and now you changed for Italy. Why? Why now? I mean, Elliot Daly was really good when he came on against Scotland, but I thought that might mean he got a spot ahead of Ollie Slightholme, perhaps, who didn't have his best day and got peppered with some bombs and didn't handle it particularly well. But the fact Ollie Slightholme is still picked leads me to think that Steve Borthwick is looking to impose his attacking game on proceedings. And with that being the case, why not Marcus Smith again? I don't know. Is it confused? I'm not sure. Is it as simple as Elliot Daly is a left-footed kicking option, and if you want to remove Henry Slade from the back line, then that just gives you a bit of balance. You lose Henry Slade's left foot, and so you need a left foot option. We've seen how good James Lowe is for Ireland with that tactical element. And so you need Elliot Daly in there. It's interesting. For what it's worth, I've seen Elliot Daly be a scapegoat for England in the past when he was playing fullback. He was one of those players that a lot of England fans were getting on the back of and saying that Eddie Jones shouldn't select. He has never been anything other than fantastic when he's played for England. He's an awesome player. He's a British and Irish Lion, a vital man when it comes to World Cup squads because he can cover wing, centre, fullback, and has a lot of experience playing in massive club matches and at international level in all of those positions. He's been really good for Saracens this season at fullback. But where does it leave Marcus Smith? Is it just that? I think it might just be as simple as Marcus Smith is down the pecking order from Finn Smith when it comes to fly half right now. In previous games, England appear to have been, some of their selections have been made based on how the opposition are going to play. You sort of feel against Italy and against Wales, England would maybe select a team that's going to impose the type of game that they want to put on opposition teams. And I guess in that sense, I'm a bit disappointed on Marcus Smith's behalf that he hasn't been picked. So anyway, let me know what you think about Marcus Smith. Plenty of time to talk about that, and we'll see where he comes on. Will he come on at fullback? Will he come on at 10? That is probably going to be the biggest indicator of where Steve Borthwick's head is at, is if and when and where Marcus Smith comes onto the field. Elsewhere in the back line, Jack Van Poortvliet onto the bench. In for Harry Randall. Again, didn't have his greatest game against Scotland. Again, part of that, it's hard to blame Harry Randall for, because you feel like he's fulfilling a role for England that doesn't come naturally to him and isn't what he does for Bristol. And I guess, I don't know about you, but I was hoping in this game against Italy that England might impose the kind of game on Italy that actually might suit Harry Randall. Nevertheless, Jack Van Poortvliet, who was really good for the A-team, comes in, and he has got that balance to his game, and tactically, kicking-wise, he gets some proper hang time on it. So if you want to kick to compete and you want that option, Jack Van Poortvliet is your man. And you know, he played really well for the A's, and I guess that's what the A team's there for. If you're in form and you look good, and a player in your position doesn't perform, then you come in. Maybe it's as simple as that. But I just wonder what it tells us about how England are going to play. They've maybe gone with arguably a more conservative fullback and arguably a more conservative scrum half replacement. As for the forwards, 6-2 split again. It's as you were. There's only one change. All 14 players that were in the last matchday squad are in this matchday squad. The one change is Jamie George starting at hooker on his 100th appearance for England. Jinxie becomes a centurion. And actually, that's one of the great things about Elliot Daly being in the starting lineup, is that just makes it an even more special moment for Jamie George, because the two of them, Elliot Daly, Jamie George, are Bezzy mates, like tight, like best men at each other's weddings, and wives are best mates as well. So that's going to be really, really special. I mean, obviously, that's not a reason why Steve Borthwick's made the pick, but it's just really cool. And this is a memory running out for his 100th cap at Twickenham. It's a memory that Jamie George totally deserves. He's been absolutely brilliant. And do you know what? I currently have him on the video I did a few days ago looking at British and Irish Lions' current squad selection. I have Jamie George just on the plane, but battling with Dewi Lake and Ronan Kelleher for maybe 3 guys fighting for 2 spots. This is a massive couple of weeks. I mean, huge for Jamie George on a personal level, getting the 100th cap. How proud he must be. But absolutely massive couple of weeks. Playing, well, I mean, next week playing against Dewi Lake, a guy that he might be battling it out for a Lions jersey, but he's got to perform against Italy. He's got to. Andy Farrell will be watching. Chandler Cunningham himself and Ted Hill, both on the bench again and covering lock back row between them. Ted Hill actually did a huge amount of work in 1 minute covering for Ollie Chesham, so that is fantastic to see. One thing that you look at when you see the England team, just diverting the topic slightly, is club combinations. Look in the back line, there are 5 Northampton Saints players. And you look at France with Toulouse and Union Bordeaux-Bègles in the back line and in the pack as well. That combination brings a cohesion which can just really help make things work. It's the same for the team that England are playing against Italy with Benetton. It's the same, obviously, with Ireland for Leinster. And then when you look at the pack, there's that as well. I mean, I should have mentioned, if he was fit, George Furbank might be part of that, and you could legitimately have had 6 Northampton Saints out of your 7 backline players. What difference could that make? And then you add to that in the fact that the pack, there are 4 Saracens in that pack of 8 forwards. And certainly with Jamie George and Maro Itoje, they've got many, many hours working at line-out time. And, I mean, half of your pack being from one club and the majority of your backline being from one club, that could really help England. It's going to be fascinating to watch. As for the reason that I was late and why the video's here, I just thought I'd give a mention to the boys. Actually, I'm still wearing the coat. I've just realised. There you go. Manchester Metropolitan University. We'd already won the league, and the boys went and won the cup today. So they've done double, and very, very proud to be associated with this bunch of lads. And I just thought I'd give them a little shout on the video. They deserve it. So not that they'll be watching this right now. They'll be all out, I imagine, well, doing what students do on Wednesday nights after a rugby game. So, but they've earned that tonight. So go well, lads. And thank you for bearing with me on the channel. Back to the England team. That's the England team. That is what, if everyone was fit and available, that's what I imagine the Italian team would be. Obviously, we'll get the Italy team on Friday. But in between now and then, I thought, just looking at the side, where is the balance of power? How does it match up? If you could take all of these Italian players and you had the potential to put them into an England 23, which players would you take over? And what does that tell us about how things might go? And when I looked at it, I only went for 4 in the 15. Again, I don't even know if Monty Ioane is actually going to be available. It'd be an interesting call if George Furbank was available, who I'd go for at fullback. But I went for only Lorenzo Canoni in the pack, although Rutzer is pushing Ollie Chesham in the second row. And I'll tell you what, Fischetti and Ferrari have been really, really good. The England front row's got its work cut out. But nonetheless, England should have an edge there. And in the back line, 3 Italians. I mean, actually, Paolo Garbisi, maybe he'd get a nudge and the edge over him. Him and Finn Smith's a bit of a coin toss. So that could have been 4 Italians and 3 Englishmen, 3 Englishmen, 4 Italians. 4 Englishmen, 3 Italians. It could well have been the other way around. But point being, very well matched in the back line. And Italy have got danger. They're just going to need to do the job up front. I think England should and will have too much, which brings me back to the start. How are England going to play, and what does the selection of Marcus Smith on the bench and Elliot Daly starting tell us about what Steve Borthwick is thinking? Like I say, more time to digest this one and have a think. The Italy team will be out on Friday, I assume. The rest of the teams will be out tomorrow. So lots of videos coming on the channel, thick and fast. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll see you on the next one.